In this question, it asks if I want to solve this system by substitution, which of the following shows the first correct step? So let's take a look at these equations. What this shows me is that this x is equal to 2x minus 7. So this equal sign means that these two things are the same. They're the same. So what I can do with that information is this x, which is the same as this x, right, is also the same as this 2x minus 7. So what I can do is I can substitute this 2x minus 7 in for x. So what does that look like? That looks like instead of x, look, I'm going to copy this equation, okay? 5x plus 3y equals 17. But instead of x, I'm going to substitute in 2y minus 7. Okay? So that is what you're looking for in your answer choices. In the next question, it's kind of the same. It's asking me, how would I set this up? Okay? Now, in this case, there's kind of two different ways to think about it. One is to say, you know what? Y is equal to this, and y is also equal to this. So if both of these things are equal to y, they must be equal to each other, right? This must be equal to this because they're both equal to y. Another way of thinking about it that gets you exactly the same result is saying that this y is equal to this. So this y down here, since it's the same as this y, I can replace that y with 6x minus 3. So I'm going to replace this y with 6x minus 3, and then I'm going to copy the rest of this equation. Okay, so either way, you notice I end up with the same equation, right? And it's this on one side and this on the other side, and it actually doesn't matter what order. In question 3, I'm asked to solve this whole system. I'm going to write my first step here, and then I'm actually going to go through and solve it. So I notice that this y is equal to 3x minus 5. So where I see a y, I'm going to plug in 3x minus 5. So I'm going to copy this equation, but instead of the y, right, so I copied this equation exactly, but instead of the y, I'm substituting in 3x minus 5. So now I have an equation that has only an x in it, and I can solve. So I would start by distributing. 3 times 3 is 9x. 3 times negative 5 is negative 15. And then I'm just going to bring down everything else. So I distributed here in green, and I'm bringing down everything else. My next step is I'm going to combine like terms. My like terms here are 8x and 9x because they both have an x on them. So that's 17x. And again, I'm just bringing down everything else. And my last step is that I need to get x by itself. And the way that I do that is I first deal with addition and subtraction. So here I'm going to add 15 first. I get 17x equals 17. And then x is being multiplied by 17. So I'm going to divide by 17. 17 divided by 17 equals 1. My x value is 1. Now, in order to find my y value, I'm going to take this x equals 1 and plug it back in to this equation. So where I see the x, I'm going to plug in 1 instead of the x. And then I'm going to do the math. 3 times 1 is 3. Minus 5. 3 minus 5 is negative 2. So y is negative 2. And just really quick, I can actually check this answer using the other equation, right? Here's my other equation. And I'm going to plug in 1 for x and negative 2 for y. And copy down the rest of the equation. I get 8 times 1 is 8. 3 times negative 2 is negative 6. And 8 minus 6 does equal 2, so I know my answer is correct. And here's the last question in the pre-quiz. If this y is equal to this, and this y is equal to this, that means these two must equal each other, so I would write 7x plus 2 equals negative 3x minus 18. Now I'm ready to solve. I have x's on both sides of this equation. I can't have that. I got to have x's all on one side. Okay. What I like to do is if I have a negative, I like to get rid of it. So I'm going to add 3x to both sides. I could have also subtracted 7x from both sides, but this leaves me with some nice positive numbers. Okay, careful here, this is a negative 18, so make sure you bring down negative 18. Now I'm looking to get x by itself. I'm going to start by subtracting 2. Negative 18 minus 2 is negative 20. I'm going to divide by 10 because x is being multiplied by 10. And I get x equals negative divided by positive is negative. 20 divided by 10 is 2. And now I'm going to plug back this x equals 2. I'm going to plug it back in to both of these equations. I'm going to plug it back into both equations, and that is how I'm also checking my answer, by plugging it into both. So I'm plugging negative 2 into both of these equations. So over here, 7 times negative 2 is negative 14. Negative 14 plus 2 is negative 12. Over here, negative times negative is positive. 3 times 2 is 6. Minus 18. And that also equals negative 12. So I'm all set.